February was packed full of games, and along comes March with even more to shove down your gaming throat. This is the series in which we look at the best games of the month ahead, from the AAA to the free-to-play, and the hidden gems along the way. I'm Adam, hello there, let's do this. It's finally the month Assassin's Creed Shadows releases, after the initial release was put back 5 months for additional polish. This time we are going back to the feudal era of Japanese history and the ongoing struggle between the Templars and the Assassins. I've played 4 hours so far and can tell you about the dual protagonists Naoe and Yasuke. One is the perfect shinobi with amazing parkour skills, agile in combat and a grappling hook to get almost anywhere the eye can see. And the other is a hulking great man who is a total powerhouse in combat, but absolutely useless in every other scenario. It's a very strange decision from Ubisoft, but it sure is fun wrecking everyone with Yasuke. Luckily, we can switch between each character most of the time and choose to progress the story with either. Shadows is a sprawling RPG with a vast land to explore, filled with side quests to complete, gear to collect, weapons to master, and stats and perks to keep an eye on. Assassin's Creed Shadows comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC on March 20th. Back in 2021, It Takes Two won Game of the Year, something that could only be played with 2 players sharing half a screen each. It was great, and the team at Hazelight are back once again with another co-op only outing. And something you should know right away, only 1 copy of the game is needed to play with a friend, as a free copy known as a Friend Pass is here to gift to your player too. Split Fiction tells the story of 2 writers whose stories are brought to life, with one specialising in fantasy and the other is a sci-fi fan. So we're constantly changing between those 2 categories as the 2 work together to escape this fictional world. And one thing's for sure, Split Fiction will switch gameplay genres constantly as we fall deeper into their imaginations, from shooter to puzzle game, from platformer to becoming a flying pig that becomes a hot dog. Yeah, really. Split Fiction comes to PS5, Xbox Series and PC on March the 6th. A game I've been keeping an eye on is Atomfall, because from the outside it looks like British Fallout, a single-player survival game set in the north of England after a nuclear disaster in the 1960s, which sees us evolve slightly differently. Exploration is the core of the gameplay here, as the world is littered with bizarre characters, cults, and mysterious government agencies to interact with, both above and below ground in nuclear bunkers. I told you it was like Fallout. We'll be scavenging to craft items, we'll be bartering and talking our way through confrontations, and yep, lots of firearms too, as this is from the team who brought us Sniper Elite, all while unearthing the dark mystery of what really happened here. Atomfall is actually set near where I live, so get ready to hear voices that sound like this. Atomfall hits PS4, PS5, the Xboxes and PC on March 27th. Okie dokie, over to the free-to-play section and 3 games that are all first-person shooters, yet each of them is a little different. Starting with an absolute banger that could be massive. Check out FragPunk. At first glance, this is a typical 5-on-5 hero shooter. You've seen it many times before. Even the vibrant art style isn't unique, but here's the difference. We all draw shard cards as the round begins, which change the game for everyone. In the trailers, we've seen cards that shrink heads and swell heads, and even flipping the map on its head. But it's not always that drastic. Some cards change the weather, or fog up key areas on the map, or make knee sliding ultra fast. These cards mix up gameplay constantly and change the flow of the game, so potentially no 2 rounds will ever feel the same. And FragPunk have confirmed all cards will be free to everyone forever. No paywalls, no pay to win mechanics here. And aside from those cards, a dozen characters are here to choose from, each with their own abilities and playstyle, yet everyone has sci-fi inspired unique skills. FragPunk and all of its 100 plus cards lands on March 6th on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series and PC. There are pre-order bonuses should you want to splash the cash before the game launches. A quick note, if I may, about a game we looked at last month, Spectre Divide, as it finally has a release date for its free launch on console and PC. The 3-on-3 tactical shooter gives us a clone to play with, making the 3-on-3 actually 6-on-6. Coming to PS5 and Xbox Series alongside PC on February 25th, which is tomorrow, or it's already out. I suppose it depends when you watch this video. Another free-to-play game looking for a fan base and yet another first-person team shooter, but this time it's the long-awaited return of Splitgate, geniusly named Splitgate 2. The game people call Portal Cross with Halo. We indeed use our own portal guns to teleport anywhere around the map instantaneously, constantly flanking and being flanked. It really is Portal combat. The full release isn't until later in the year. This is the open alpha, beginning on February 27th. I don't usually cover alphas, but this is your chance to impact development and give your feedback. And it comes with new game modes like Split Ball, a military-focused sports game. There's a goal for each team to attack and defend, and a ball per team with a third one somewhere on the map. The team who grabs all 3 balls and puts them in their goal wins. But remember, they can be stolen and more balls will be added every minute. And then there is a 24-player mode made up of 3 teams, so it's 8 on 8 on 8 in a massive deathmatch. If this seems like your kind of thing, you can play it on PS4, PS5, the Xboxes and PC for a limited time on February 27th. Transitioning back to priced games now, and the brutal combat-focused RPG, the first Berserker Khazan. We play as General Khazan, the once celebrated hero who was wrongly accused of being a traitor and is now hell-bent on vengeance. This style of RPG is most akin to a Souls-like, as we time our attacks to coincide with our foes' lulls in defense, while simultaneously managing a stamina bar to prevent exhaustion. But in the first Berserker, things are a little more forgiving. For example, if a boss completely wipes the floor with you, we'll still receive the XP needed to upgrade our character, or at least a little of it. We've seen a bunch of combat styles so far, including a spear designed for longer ranged fights, and a great way to drain a boss's stamina, while great swords are the powerhouse of this game, slow and devastating. And we've also seen dual wielding with a short axe and sword. The first Berserker Khazan drops on March 27th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC, and if you're unsure, there is a demo available right now if you'd like to try before you buy. There's another Souls-like RPG dropping this month. It's AI Limit, but this one only costs $35. AI Limit is part of PlayStation's China Hero project, and many people are calling it Anime Dark Souls. Fundamentally, that's right, but there is a major difference here. First, there's no stamina bar to manage. We can run around all day, which will make the game far more approachable, and to push us to be more aggressive in fights, we have a sync bar that slowly fills up as we land attacks, awarding us additional damage buffs. So the more we land, the harder we hit. We've been promised diverse enemies and a variety of weapons, and I personally keep getting Code Vein vibes. Is it just me? AI Limit hits PS5 and PC on March 27th. Away from violence for a moment is 2 Point Museum, a business simulator in which we run a museum and must make it successful by bringing the best staff, the most impressive displays and exhibitions, and getting both the board and the public to love it. 2 Point Museum plays almost identically to the other 2 Point games like University and Hospital, as we are pushed to make money, but in a tongue-in-cheek way. 2 Point Museum drops on March 4th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. March 14th sees the latest WWE outing. 2K25 takes last year's game and updates the roster and improves the gameplay in little ways. This time there are over 300 superstars to play as and against, and the real new thing is The Island, a WWE themed world outside of the squared circle where 50 players online take on challenges and customize their superstar. If you've played 2K's tennis and basketball games, you know this is fundamentally how they push their microtransactions, so be careful. The core gameplay in Ring is as great as ever, with more backstage areas to brawl through and new stories to undertake. Coming to PS4 and PS5, the Xboxes and PC, but those on last gen, you won't have access to The Island. That's not on PS4 or Xbox One. Killing Floor 3 is quietly being released on March 25th. The cooperative first-person shooter has never had the biggest fan base, but there are plenty of people who enjoy taking down an outbreak of murderous clones around the world. Now the action horror game sees 6 players online team up to take down every one of the Z hordes. If you're new to this, think of it like COD zombies mixed with Doom, and that makes Killing Floor 3. Coming to PS5, Xbox Series and PC. A quick mention, if I may, of Hitman World of Assassination VR. It's finally finally coming to PSVR2. We are Agent 47 and complete the missions we've seen as part of the last 9 years, but this time in first person. So we'll be the ones shooting out cameras, punching guards in the face, and unaliving billionaires who are ruining the world for personal gain. That sounds poetic. All 21 locations from the Hitman trilogy are here and land on March 27th for only a $10 upgrade to those who already have the non-VR game. Good value. Hey, look at you, you got to the end of the video, so I owe you some dad jokes, like this. A guy came up to me and shouted, "Gnab! Gnab!" I know what you're thinking, that's bang out of order. Do you know which of King Arthur's knights watched over the round table? That was, of course, Surveillance. And speaking of that table, do you know who designed it? Circumference. Do you get it? You get it. You get it, right? Yeah, you get it. How many birds does it take to change a light bulb? Ideally, it's 3, but 2 can. I'm Atom, you're awesome, I'm so sorry. See ya.